Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, y'all. My name is Danielle, and this is my spiritual journey. Okay, so we have been discussing the moon phases. We did the new moon phase yesterday, and today we are on the full moon. I know that we are going out of order, but I wanted to make sure that you understood a little bit more about me and all the things as much as possible. Anyway, so when I was learning about the moon phases, I did not take them all in at once. Y'all, that was overwhelming. I tried it, but I was like, let me not. And so I backed up and I did the new moon and the full moon. And I did that for a while. And then I progressed to start doing the others and things were able to click. And I was like, oh, yeah. So today we're going to be talking about the full moon. And the full moon is when the moon is 100% illuminated. That's when you go outside and you see the full circle of the moon. It's just, yeah, it's a circle, y'all. It's a circle. It's not missing pieces and chunks or anything. It's a full moon. Now, the 100% illuminated moon, full moon, also means that the energy of the moon is at its peak. So, one thing that I want to ask you, because I really do hope that you are understanding and seeing how you feel throughout the different phases of the moon. So, one thing I want to put in as the question of the day is, when do you celebrate yourself? When do you like acknowledge the things that you've done and all those things? Before, I would say for me, it would probably be when people would ask, what do you do? What have you done? Um, are you certified in this? Do you have educational background in this? Do you have experience in this? Like that, when somebody else is asking questions, nosy, that's when I would be like, oh, okay, well, I've accomplished some things. Sitting by myself, I'm usually like, I ain't done nothing, and it's just like that. So when you are following the phases of the moon, when you get to the full moon, this is going to be time for you to acknowledge yourself, guys. And this is also going to be a time when we are showing our gratitude. Now, definitely you can show gratitude throughout the entire time. The entire time. There is nothing wrong with that. There are no rules, but I'm going to tell you how things normally may feel. I'm going to put words to some of the feelings. And so it would be gratitude because at the end of the day, it's like, man, I've been doing this thing, and with our example from the new moon phase, we have our imaginary lady friend, and she is wanting to move her body for 27 minutes a day, right? And I understand that I have skipped over all the other phases or most of the phases to get to the full moon, but let's just say that she had to go through some stuff. She had some challenges. She had to pivot. She had to change. She had to edit. She had to just like do all these different things. And she set out at the new moon to do, and okay, let's do another thing. Like let's say that this is the new moon where we're 0% illuminated. This is like your energy. That's why we resting at the new moon. Now this is the full moon, 100%. 100% illuminated, 100% we at the peak energy. Now, between here and here, like our lady has gone through some stuff, right? She went from 27 minutes to 10 minutes, okay? Because that was her. She was just like, oh my goodness, like all the things was hitting her and everything. But even here with her 10 minutes, like she's doing great and she's doing it daily. She's loving herself. Um, she went from just imagine before the new moon, she wasn't moving at all. And so now she's actually moving. She's doing things that she likes. Remember, she made the choice to do like aerial silks, hiking. She was doing something adventurous and moving her body, something to look forward to. And so it's just like all the different things. And it's just like I have reason to celebrate meeting the lady, our imaginary friend. She has reasons to celebrate. She has reasons to be grateful. Like she was being creative, y'all, and you're gonna hear about it in the other videos. But she was being creative. She made it happen. She came against real challenges that you know you may face in your actual phases, between you setting an intention and thinking all is good, and then some stuff pop up, and it's just like, whoa, what do we do? Do I let go of my goal, or what do I do? And what she ended up having to do was reduce the time, put it to 10 minutes. And so, there's a lot for her to be grateful for. She also like overcame some things. And then the most important thing that I would say is she's able to let go of some things. Beforehand, when she wasn't doing anything, she was feeling like guilty, ashamed, mad at herself for, excuse me, for like, how did I gain this weight? How did I go from being someone who was active to being someone who was completely inactive? Like all the things. She could have let excuses get to her, but she was like, no, we're going to just start moving. And so she just started moving. And so she's able to release those things now. There's not going to be any guilt because while she may have gained the weight, she's moving. And even if she hasn't lost the weight, she's moving and she feels good about it. And it's going to happen. The weight is going to happen, even if that's like another goal for another month is to tackle the weight. But this time it was just, I just want to move. I just want to move. I just want to see what happens. And when you guys start looking at how we are so interconnected, how the vibrations from one thing can affect us in another. Like, imagine if you have 12 different categories in your life, right? That you like work on and focus on. You have 12 categories. Maybe some of you have five or six, maybe you have it. But let's say that you have those categories and there's one that you're just like, oh man, it's just like not going right. Like if you hyper focus on that one thing that isn't going right, trust me, the other things are going to start falling. They're going to start coming down, right? They won't be as great as they were because you're so hyper focused on this one thing right here. When you, excuse me, when you take your focus off of this one thing that you feel is going wrong and just continue to look over here and do the other things that are going right and keep those going right, if you can imagine how there is something that is like this, y'all, if you can imagine how there's something that's like this, right? And let's say that this is the one thing that you think is going wrong, and this is the one thing, this is everything else that's going right. But you focus on this right here, it's going to start pulling things down. You may not notice it because you're so hyper focused on this. But if this is the one thing that's going wrong and this is everything that's going right, and you're like, oh my goodness, these are all the things that's going right, and you stay here with these great vibrations, guess what? This thing right here is going to start coming up. It may not come up the way you want it to, but it's going to start coming up. And so that's what Our Lady is doing. She's not focused on, I'm not losing weight or anything like that. She's not focused on the weight. She's focused on for this month, I just want to move. I just want to move my body. I just want to do that. And you will see that Our Lady in just wanting to move her body, she ended up having to pivot and to do some things. It opened her up to greater experiences that she didn't expect, right? And so it's just amazing what can happen between the new moon and the full moon. And I also want to emphasize that, if you're paying attention to your body and how you work and how your energy is, you will start seeing some things. So let's say for me, again, because this is my journey and I want to kind of help you understand how I feel as well. So for the new moon was yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Today is Monday. With the new moon being yesterday, I felt that stuff. So yesterday was Sunday. With the new moon being on blah, blah, blah. With the new moon being on Sunday, I felt it on like Saturday afternoon, early evening. I was done. I was, I still had things that I needed to accomplish. I didn't do it. Sunday, trust me, I didn't do nothing. Nothing. And so it was just like, okay, let's get on and let's do this. And so, I'm back on the energy train and I'm able to do this video so that we can be on track and stay on track with that. And so with me, remember, you can have where you feel the energy 2 to 3 days beforehand. You can feel it 2 to 3 days afterwards. I'm sorry, after. And so with me, that new moon phase, it took me out for, let's just say about a day and a half. And after that, then I'm good. And so let's again for the visual. This is the new moon energy where we have zero illumination. This is full moon right here where we're 100% illuminated peak energy. So with me coming in a little bit before the new moon energy, I was already, before we hit Sunday, I was already like, I'm good. I'm good. I said I'm good. I'm not doing nothing. And so that was me for the last part of Saturday and all of Sunday. And so now we're here on Monday, and Monday, it's still new moon energy for some people, but I've already moved on. So I got some energy, I'm already being illuminated, which means let's say as we are getting illuminated, let's have a word where we are now waxing, right? When we are waxing, we are growing, we are gaining energy, right? So I'm already past the 0%. I took my day and a half at a 0% illumination, and I'm already growing in my energy. I'm already waxing in my energy. And so I'm already like, oh, okay, I got some energy. Let me get out here and do my stuff, it says, you know. And so with the full moon energy, after the full moon comes, then we get to where, because we're here. Now, my arm it probably isn't going to do all the things. So let's say this is 0% new moon, full moon, 100%. Now I'm pulling my other arm. So from 100%, then we start going back. And this right here is called, whoops, no, this is our energy that is waning. And our energy is going to go back to waning all the way back till we get to 0 again. Another new moon, right? And so we start here where we're 0%, but then we start waxing. We're growing in our energy. And we're at the full moon. And then from the full moon, from the full moon, then our energy will start declining or waning. Okay. So you'll hear me using those words, but that also helps you to get um, a visual without me having like the circles and the things and that kind of thing. Like I'm trying to use my words so that you understand. But with that, that's why I started growing in my energy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's talk about the full moon. And that's not the next phase. That is not the next phase. But this is the next phase that I learned about when I was doing my spiritual journey, talking about the moon phases way back when. And so I'm wanting to pass this information on to you. Some of it I might come back and be like, oh my goodness, I forgot to tell y'all so and so, because that's the things that I learned. But I also want to again specify in this video, the same as I did yesterday. I really do want you to start taking notice with how you feel. How do you feel in all the different ways? Again, we're talking about full moon today. Full moon is at peak energy. Are you like 1,000% energized and ready to do some stuff? Are you ready to like change out your whole house, throw the whole house away and get a new house in and decorate and all the things, whatever it is that your goal is? Like, are you feeling like I'm about to do this? I got to do this. That's the full moon energy. You are at your peak. You can also feel it. Keep remember, you can feel it 2 to 3 days beforehand. Whatever phase you are in, you can feel it beforehand. You can feel it afterwards. That's why sometimes when it's time to do, let's say that you do have a ritual that you want to do for the new moon, for the full moon, or for any of the phases in betwixt and between, if you don't do it that day, you can still be in its energy, right? And so it's okay to do all those things. And when I say ritual, I don't want to scare people off. A ritual can literally be maybe for the new moon is when you're like, okay, let me come up with my intention. For the full moon, which is where we are today, and let me stay focused on the full moon. For the full moon, you can literally be like, okay, let me show gratitude for all the things that I have made it through just to get to this peak energy, because trust me, you're going to have to go through where you've had to edit your your goal, you're going to have to go through probably challenges, which again is going to lead to the editing. But these challenges can be challenges that will make you kind of question, do I continue to hold on to this goal or do I let it go and sit it to the back burner? And that has happened to a lot of us. As you probably know, you probably set out to do something and then some things came and you made the decision to keep your goal and to put your goal on the back burner and to work on whatever was at hand. And so that goal that you had stayed on the back burner. And so let's say that this time you decided to actually stick with your goal and not to put it on the back burner. Y'all, that is a huge accomplishment because again, how many times have we had to put something on the back burner, especially if you are trying to multitask and you are doing the working thing, you're doing the parenting thing, you're doing the life thing, you're doing the I'm in this group, this group, this group type thing. Like there's so much that can come up and, excuse me, especially if it's one where it's like I'm being the loyal friend thing, and being the loyal friend, maybe you have to go above and beyond, things that you didn't expect. But there's so much that can throw you off of accomplishing your goal, So there's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot to appreciate yourself for. I did this in our example, we had Our Lady, and she wanted to do some movement. She wanted to do some exercise. She started off, she was like, I'm going to do 27 minutes a day. Some stuff happened. She ended up doing 10 minutes, right? We're at the full moon. So you're not getting the full story right now, but she ended up doing 10 minutes. She's still moving. She still is accomplishing her goal. Her goal, remember, was a part of a bigger goal. The bigger goal was to do like, what was it, 37 minutes a day? So even at 10 minutes, she's still laying that foundation. She's still moving her body, right? We did not say that her goal was to lose weight. We said that her goal was to move her body, right? And to me, that would be the foundation for a lot of things. Our Lady does need to lose some weight, but maybe moving is that first step into losing weight. Maybe as she's moving, she's like, this is fun. And maybe her funness, maybe her enjoyment takes away the goal to lose weight completely. Maybe it just comes naturally as a part of her moving. Maybe she ends up hanging around people, and with her hanging around people, there's some ritual thingy that they do. And it's just like, nah, we've been moving and we've been doing this great thing of moving our body. We're not gonna finish it off with some pop. Yeah, I'm from Kansas, y'all. I say pop, I don't say soda. But maybe we don't finish it off with some pop. Maybe we get a juice. Maybe we drink something healthy. Maybe we eat fruit, apples and oranges because they automatically gonna give you juice. I don't know. But maybe she's in something like that. And that small change starts to show her a whole new way of doing things. And she starts naturally just losing weight as a result of her doing her movement, and her movement gets her around new people, and being around new people gets her around some healthier habits, and that gets her to losing weight. She ain't even got to have to lose weight on her list anymore because it's just happening naturally because she decided to move her body. Moving her body was her only thing, was to do her. I think she started off actually with exercising. But again, through the month, we realized that exercising isn't a word that she likes. She likes to move her body, not exercise. And so, all the things. And so I'm excited to share the other moon phases so y'all can see how it actually makes sense. Something else that we do during this time is to not just celebrate ourselves, but in celebrating ourselves, we really do have to release some things because, let's just take Our Lady. Our Lady was probably feeling ashamed, guilty, embarrassed, angry, mad, just how could I get here? I used to be whatever, maybe in college or whatever, maybe as she was raising her kids, maybe she was somebody who was active. Maybe at one of her jobs, she was active. And now she's just like, how did I get here to where I'm not even a person that I recognize? And so for her to start moving her body, that took some mental work because she could have easily been like, I'm not going to be able to sustain it. I'm not going to stay committed to it. I'm a fail. Like all the things were probably going through her head. So now that she has done this, even though she had to reduce her time, she's still committed to herself. She's still committed to doing the goal of moving her body, and she laid that foundation. So maybe next month she can increase it if she wants, or maybe she just wants to sustain the 10 minutes. It is completely up to her and how she's going to be feeling throughout the time because you can have here where we have the new moon and it's like this is my intention. And then at the full moon, she can feel here, which is like I did this. And she may be feeling here, even at the full moon, I want to add another 10 minutes, because she's at the peak energy. She's at 100% energy, right? She may be like, I'm about to add another 20 minutes, all the things. But I would highly suggest that we stick with whatever our goal was here for the new moon. And our new moon was to do, to move our body X amount. And so I suggested she stick with it and just ride it out. And then as she starts coming down and we're getting back to that new moon, that's going to be when she's setting her intentions. And she hopefully, like I'm telling y'all, because it's really important, is going to be taking in how she really feels, how her body was feeling throughout the different phases. And is 10 minutes something that she can do? Is it something that she did easily? Should we do it another lunar cycle? Should we increase it? Like those are going to be things that she's going to have to take in come the next lunar cycle. I would not suggest, again, we're at peak energy. She's going to feel like Superwoman. She can do this, she can add on. I'm telling y'all, this is usually going to be the full moon energy, is usually when y'all are going to be like, let me do this garage sale. Oh my goodness, garage sales take a lot of work. Let me wash all the dishes in the house. Let me do spring cleaning. Y'all, we can do spring cleaning in the spring. You know how people do spring cleaning in the spring? Y'all better watch the moon phases when y'all start jumping in to do that spring cleaning. Because if you trying to jump in to do spring cleaning when your energy is lower, y'all, you're gonna have stuff all over the place, and it's gonna take so much longer than if you stood if you stayed with when you are aligned with the energy. And when you are feeling that peak energy is when you can do some bigger task like spring cleaning, because man, I remember one of those times I did me some spring cleaning. Y'all, I was spring cleaning. People was looking at me like, what the hell? Girl, why you doing all that? Why you doing all that? Your house is already clean. Why you doing all that? Because I want to, just so yeah, it's just for real. Stay with the energy. See how you feel. Check in with the moon, what phase it's in, and see what's going on. And hopefully these videos help guide you. But yeah, it's a time to also release, because we're about to now, full moon is here. Full moon is 100%. But keep in mind, sometimes like me, you can feel the energy 2 to 3 days before you actually hit the actual phase. So let's say that you're here and you're feeling, oh man, I'm at my peak energy. And then here you have nothing left to give. But while we're still here in the new moon, I'm sorry, in the full moon phase, because full moon is 100%. Remember, after full moon, I'm moving my other hand out of the way. Remember, once we hit full moon, we start waning. Energy starts going back, right? And so let's say that you're here. This is the new, I'm sorry, oh my goodness. This is the full moon energy. But let's say that because you may work where you stay ahead of the game, when we are here at the peak, you may already be beyond the peak. And if you're beyond the peak, that is probably when you're like starting to lose, wane, release, lessen, all the different things that mean take away, right? Your energy is going down because once you pass the 100% illumination, we start going to 99, 98, it doesn't say 99, 98. It's going to be in different increments, just depending on how we are moving and rotating, right? So it could be 99 and then it might just jump to something that's completely different. It's not going to go in sequential order. And so with what I'm saying is maybe right when the full moon energy hits, you're grateful, you're celebrating yourself. And then a little bit later, still in the full moon energy phase, um, but with us being in the full moon energy, if you're a little bit ahead, you may be ready to start releasing some things, right? Because you may be already where you're starting to um, come down in the energy levels. And with you already starting to come down, it's time to start releasing. That's still part of the full moon energy, is to start releasing, letting go of the different energies that no longer serve you. And with Our Lady, some of the things that no longer served her was, that guilt, that shame, that embarrassment for how did I get here? Because that's a thing of the past. Doesn't matter how you got here. What matters now is that you're actually doing the work. We don't have to hold on to that negative, that energy that doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us, right? And so let's just let it go. So that's just, part of what you can also do during this moon phase of the full moon is gratitude, appreciation for yourself, celebrating yourself, celebrating all the wins, celebrating the fact that you've had to pivot, that you've had to edit, that you've been consistent, that you've been committed to yourself. Celebrate all these things, that you are someone who can literally build the momentum. You are an overcomer, all the different things, because you remember how many times this same goal has probably been on the back burner, but now you decided to stick with it. That's an accomplishment. That's a reason to celebrate yourself. And then not only celebrate yourself, but sometimes let's do something that's actual physical behind it. I'm not saying go get some food. I'm not saying go do some shopping and spend some money, but maybe you watch a favorite movie. Maybe you read a good book like me. I'm reading a book right now, so maybe you read a book. Maybe another one of your things that you really like to do, you put on the back burner. Maybe you really do like to cook. So let's go do some cooking. Maybe it was like, okay, well, you know, I really do just want to take a bath and put these different scents in the tub. Do that. If you don't have a bathtub, because it happens, y'all. I've been to some spaces, not recently, but I've been in some spaces where there's no tub. Like some of these places, it's just like showers only. In Mexico, hello, I didn't have a tub. I had shower only. So, that was a place where it's like, okay, maybe we just drop some scents in the corners. It was a huge shower. So maybe you could just drop some scents in the corners and let that steam hit. It also had the built-in where you stick the shampoo, the soap and stuff. Then it had a huge window. So there were several places to stick some essential oils if that's your thing. Maybe you just plant a flower, plant some herbs, whatever your thing is, take this time to not only celebrate yourself in a pat on the back type thing, but do something. If especially y'all, especially if, there are things that you love that can add to you and help raise your vibration and be a reminder for you. Maybe let's say you're someone, y'all know me, I always have different oils around. Maybe the celebrating yourself is a time when you create some more oils for yourself. Maybe that's when you um, go and you put some crystals in the moonlight. Again, all these different things. And yes, while we're talking about crystals, y'all, this is so off topic. We need to, y'all, they all blend together. But this is a time when some people may take the water. I use purified water. I don't use tap water, but I use purified water and I can put it in a mason jars. I would have purple mason jars as well. But you put it in a mason jar and you can set it outside. Or if you don't have an outside necessarily that you feel safe putting it, you can set it in the windowsill. If you don't have access to a window, it is okay. Believe and know that the energy of the full moon is strong enough to come in and just come to you. So just imagine that your mason jar is being in the energy of the full moon. The full moon is that peak energy, y'all. We at our peak energy. So that's why a lot of people will take the um, full moon water and do that because it is peak energy. There are some people who do it at the new moon as well. New moon is the lower energy. There are still things that you can do with the lower energy. Use your imagination. Yes, that is some things that people can do with that 0% illuminated energy. So, there's different things that you can do with the full moon as well. As far as, charging water, charging your stones, your crystals, charging different items with the energy of the full moon. But those are some of those things. And the same way that you would do that is the same way that you would do yourself. Love yourself, take advantage as much as possible of that full moon energy. And it's not just for your one goal, but see how it is, right? So it is so important that you understand how you work and how your body moves and how it responds to the energies throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the month, right? It is so important. This is going to help you in so many ways. And so you can stick with these two cycles, phases, sorry, the new moon and the full moon for as long as you need to, because again, they are so important and they can definitely set a very strong foothold and foundation for you for your spiritual journey. Again, it's just like the example I gave you with the lady who was wanting to do spring cleaning. You can do spring cleaning just because it's spring, and I told you in another video, that's what I see as the new year is because I'm going off of the energy. And so with it being the new year, the spring equinox, those types of things are what I work on. But if you just say, oh, it's spring, let me do some spring cleaning, but you're doing it when your energy is low, then you're going to have a project on your hands. If you do it when your energy is right near its peak, you are great. You are golden. But know what it is and know how it looks for you, right? Maybe you're someone who can take it and break it down into different pieces and parts. Maybe you're someone who is just like, okay, I have full moon energy in the later morning to early afternoon. That's me. And so because that's your thing, maybe that's when you do your spring cleaning. I still wouldn't advise you that you do it during a new moon, but I mean that's me trying to help you out. But just pay attention, seriously, pay attention and see what's up. But let me pull out my notes here for the full moon. I definitely say to use it as a time to regularly celebrate yourself. And Our Lady ended up going to be 10 minutes a day instead of the 27 minutes a day, but she still has a lot to be thankful and grateful for. She was still being committed to her goal. She did get rid of some of the fear, doubt, shame, and guilt that was associated with her not quote unquote exercising slash moving her body. But now she can get rid of that because she is moving her body. We're not worried about losing weight because weight wasn't her goal for this lunar cycle. Moving her body was. She is moving her body. So that is something also that I want to make sure that y'all are paying attention to. You can move your body. That is a great thing to do before you're like, I want to lose weight. Like to lose weight, there is something. It can be moving your body. It can be moving your body, and then it can be eating better. But losing weight is that's a heavy goal, especially if you don't know how you gain the weight. There's so many different ways. It could be something emotional. It could be that your sleep patterns are off. It could be that you're eating something that is literally something that you're sensitive to. There are so many different things. And so losing weight is a heavier goal. Moving your body may be something lighter. If moving your body is still something that is heavy, look at the emotional things. Look at the things that are messing with your mindset, and it's time to start taking those. So again, this all happens when you're setting your intention. But yeah, just don't look at it as, I can't celebrate myself because I didn't lose weight. And when you'll go, your goal was, excuse me, your goal was to move yourself, to move your body. And don't knock yourself because you're not at the 27 minutes, you're at the 10 minutes, you're still doing it. You committed to yourself. Love on yourself because there were challenges that came up. There were things that you had to pivot. There were things that you had to edit. You had to make decisions. But at the end of the day, this goal stayed on the list, didn't go to the back burner. So Yeah, I just definitely want to make sure that you um, keep those in mind, especially when it comes to the full moon. So, yeah, before this video gets too long, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other video while I'm still in this energy and while I'm still on the topic of things. But for real, like tell me how it is that you observe the full moon. Like, do you feel the full moon? Do you actually do something on the full moon? Do you realize that that's when you're at your peak energy? And like, chat with me in the comment section. All right. Until then, guys, if you have any questions, again, put it in the comment section. I do read the comments. Some of them I am looking at to do video responses on. So it just depends on what, where, when with the comments. But I am acknowledging comments and so forth and so on. But don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, share. And until then, y'all, I'll chat with y'all later. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.